Hi everyone. Now some of you may know me, the majority of you probably don't, but my name's Andy and I'm the maker man and I make things like this.
I've been working with wooden resin for about 4 years now, and today we're going to make a couple of small projects together. Now you're going to have to bear with me because there's a lot to explain and it may get a little long-winded. We're going to start by making the mould. For this I'm using a piece of 3x1 pine. We're also going to need some parcel tape. Now everyday brown parcel tape will do. We're just going to put this on the inside of the mould to stop the resin from sticking to it. We're also going to need some screws so we can screw the mould together. Now obviously you don't have to make your own mould. You can buy pre-made moulds online, which are basically just like big plastic trays, and I'll leave a link to a couple of them in the description box below. Now as I happily wrap my mould in parcel tape, you'll notice there's a big sheet of HDPE plastic on my bench. That's there because the resin doesn't really stick to it. And underneath that sheet is aluminium, a big aluminium sheet. That's there to wick the heat away as the resin cures. Now you'll notice that I'm wrapping both sides of the mould in parcel tape. This is to stop the mastic that we're going to use to stick the mould to the plastic from sticking to the wood of the mould, if that makes sense. Next, we check for square and we screw them all together. Sauteed. This is the important stage. Now I will go overboard with my mastic because I've had huge resin leaks before and I don't want any this time. So I will put a bead on the underside of the mould that actually goes down onto the plastic. I will then put a bead around the outside of the mould and up the sides where the mould joins to itself. And then I will go around the inside. So you've got 3 barriers. And even then sometimes it will leak because resin will find an opening if there is one. And there we go. 2 moulds done to a turn, ready to serve. Now we have to start working on what's going in the mould. And I have 2 pieces of oak here, both with live edges, and we have to clean those live edges. So in my drill I have a nylon wheel. Now these nylon wheels work fabulously. They get rid of all the bark, all the dirt, all that crap that's stuck to the live edge. This little wheel gets rid of all of it, makes it pristine, just ready to go. Now once those live edges are clean, we have to seal them with a thin coat of resin. Now this is done to avoid bubbles from coming out of the wood into our main pour of resin, which we'll do later on. Now what I use for this is craft resin. It's a very thin 2-part epoxy, and the main thing is it dries within 24 hours, so I don't have to wait around too long. This resin is a 1-to-1 mix, so it's quite easy to use. Just make sure that you mix it well. Get round the sides of the cup, get the bottom, mix it for at least 5 minutes. The easiest way to apply this resin is with your finger, in a glove. Don't waste a brush, just use your finger. But make sure that you get the live edge, get the ends, get the top, get the bottom. What I do is I encapsulate that piece of wood because I do not want bubbles coming out from anywhere. Okay guys, I think that's it for part 1. In part 2 we'll get the oak put into the moulds and we'll pour some resin. If you have any questions or comments, put it in the section down below, and if I can answer it, I will.